Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer II Battle Replay. Well, actually, this one's a community cast, so which is awesome. This was sent in by TheSpudHouse, who I actually fought in yesterday's live battle cast, which is pretty cool. So he sent in a replay. He's playing as Chaos this time, and he's against the Tomb Kings. So this one is pretty cool, actually. So he's got a load of Forsaken. These guys will obviously chew through any cheap infantry, and Tomb Kings have a lot of them. So, you know, with that armor that they've got, I mean, it's only 75, but that's still more than most units, you know? I mean, when state troops only got 30, this is definitely, I'd consider this armored. So it's pretty great. Also, you can see the Chaos Warriors are great weapons. Again, just a ton of armor. So all these guys will hold up really well against, you know, that front line. But also, with these guys having great weapons, they will get a lot of armor piercing in turn. So we will see these guys, you know, holding up pretty well against sort of, you know, the big monsters and constructs, you know, Ushabti, stuff like that. They're able to get in some good damage with their armor piercings. That's definitely going to help. Also, for fighting the big things, Dragon Ogres are fantastic for killing single model armored entities. They'll just get a good surround on them and they will just wail on them. They do a lot of damage. They're very good. It's very difficult to escape them too. So Dragon Ogres, I think, are perfect in this matchup, where you're going to see a lot of single entity, big armored, scary things. And frankly, they will also batter the hell out of Ushabti. They'll do very well there too, because they're not going to be outnumbered. They tend to struggle against sort of, you know, big sort of anti-large cavalry, so things like Grail Knights, stuff like that. But as long as they have more attacks than the thing they're fighting, they'll do great. So, and also, this is the creme de la creme here. We have Archaon, the Ever-Chosen. Previously the Never-Chosen, but now he's a bit more viable. He's got a lot more armor piercing than he used to. His weapon strength has, you know, been given a good buff. He's a lot better than he was. He's got some good buffs. And it'll be great to actually see him used, you know, from time to time. But if we have a look at his abilities here, you can see he actually has the Crown of Domination. So that makes people immune to psychology. And so when you're fighting against any undead faction that has, you know, so much fear and terror, it just means that your front line doesn't have to worry about it anymore. So with these guys, with their armor piercing, they're not going to get terrified away as quickly as they otherwise would, which means they can just sit and fight the big monsters and get more of that armor piercing damage in. So I think Archaon is going to be a great pick here, and also being able to imbue fire attacks on people, it means it's really going to help kill those Tomb King lords that are all vulnerable to fire. So I think it's a great pick. So it should work out really well. So, and the Tomb Kings over here, you can see he's got the Chosen of the Gods, which is going to break those shields in the front line. Though there actually aren't any shields in the front line, are they? They all have great weapons, so no worries there. Not going to get any bonus out of that. Also, some more Ushabti Great Bow. He's got Arcan the Black, which is going to be very scary with his death magic. He's also got 2 Cambrian War Sphinx, which is going to be great for killing big armoured units. And they do cause terror, which we can ignore for, you know, to a certain extent now, thanks to the Crown of Domination. Also, he's got a Tomb Scorpion, so some more, you know, armour piercing. And these guys are tough to pin down. They just keep jumping into the sand and jumping out again. He's also got some Tomb Guard with halberds, one in the back, one on the side. So these guys would be great for, you know, protecting the back line against the, you know, the Shaggoths, well, the Dragon Ogres, and just a load of Skeleton Warriors in the front. So just some fodder, and fodder's always good because it will give everyone those heals. So be very handy. So let's speed things up and see how it goes. So straight away you can see some damage is coming down on the Dragon Ogres, and it's actually doing considerable damage. One thing with the Chosen of the Gods, they have that shield breaking thing, but it actually only breaks missile parry with shields. So it won't negate that usual missile resistance that, you know, would otherwise, you know, be good against the Dragon Ogres there. So over on this side, Fate of Buna comes down on these Dragon Ogres. It's going to do a fair bit of damage, but nothing huge. Because, you know, not a huge amount of models in Dragon Ogres, but it will do some damage. And these Tomb Guards with halberds, they are going to do a lot of damage, so really got to hope that these Forsaken are keeping the Tomb Guards busy, and the Shaggoths are focused on the Tomb Scorpion. So over here, got some, you know, action going on. Cambrian War Sphinx is going to do a lot of damage to the Chaos Warriors, but the Chaos Warriors should be able to do some damage in return. So right in the front line, you see the Skeleton Warriors are pretty much all dead already. They were never going to last, and this War Sphinx is having, you know, good fun time, good kitty. So now in the back you can see there's some Skeleton Warriors that he completely avoided. So TheSpudHouse now coming in, you know, try and take out these ranged units. They are running away at the moment, but very clever to throw these Tomb Guard in the way. So obviously the Forsaken here should be able to, you know, deal with the Tomb Guard, or at least keep them busy. But unfortunately the Dragon Ogres ran straight into them, so they really need to pull out and get around again, because they would do great against these Ushabti, and you really want to shut them down early. So here we see a little retreat, and he'll move around, which is definitely wise. So, but unfortunately, because of all the dead skeletons in the front, he's able to get his Ushabti summoned straight away. So those Ushabti can do great against the Forsaken. So, but looks like the Dragon Ogres have got into the back line, and some more Dragon Ogres are coming in this way, leaving these Forsaken to deal with the Halberds and the Tomb Scorpion. And over here, these Chaos Warriors, they are still fighting. They're getting some good damage in here. They've had all of their heals now, you know, from their, what's it called? The Soul Well or whatever it is. I've forgotten. Anyway, they've had all their heals, so Tomb Kings aren't going to be able to heal these guys up anymore. So that's pretty great. You know, there's no Necrotect in sight, so any damage now is going to be permanent on that guy. So over here, this War Sphinx is getting pretty surrounded by all these guys, but being the big kitty that he is, he's pouncing around, getting out of the way. Another kitty's come for backup. And over here you can see with the Skeleton Warriors charging in the back and the Tomb Guard holding well, those Forsaken are in a lot of trouble, as are these. Because these Forsaken were not going to hold up well against the Ushabti. Once again, the Great Bows have re-maneuvered to get out of the way of the fight, but the Dragon Ogres are hot on their heels. So that's pretty great. So here, what might have been nice, while he still had the Forsaken, it might have been good just to get all these guys to focus down Arcan, because Arcan will not survive for long against, you know, brutes like these. So I think that was another... oh, Spirit Leech went down on there. Again, not the best target. Spirit Leech is best against single targets. So, but, you know, it's good to whittle down these Dragon Ogres, so every little helps. So over here you can see one of the War Sphinxes in a lot of trouble, but the other one is holding strong, and there are some Skeleton Warriors here that are going to try and bog down some of these Chaos Warriors for a little while, giving these guys some breathing room. So a lot of guys starting to run away. Unfortunately, these Forsaken just haven't been able to hold out against the Tomb Scorpion and the Tomb Guard. That was a big ask, but it bought them a lot of time, so that's good. So over here, unfortunately, the Halberds now, without any other infantry, any other Chaos Infantry, keeping them busy, they're getting a lot of good damage on the Dragon Ogres, so that is dangerous. And now these guys have all got 44% physical resist, which is absolutely nuts. So that is very dangerous for the Chaos troops over there. So luckily, one of these Ushabti units is crumbling. The other one, quite low leadership, but they're still going. And there's still 6 of them. So in all, 10 Ushabti left with Great Bows, so that is dangerous. So amazingly, the Forsaken did come back in to fight the Tomb Guard, but now the Scorpion's in here as well, so a lot of big fighty monsters here. But of course, terror isn't going to be a problem, which is amazing, because that Crown of Domination is keeping all of these guys fighting. I think with fear and terror, some of these guys would have run away already. I think this unit might have run away, and so yeah, that's 30 men still fighting that wouldn't have been, you know, if it wasn't for the Crown of Domination. So these Dragon Ogres are back. These very injured. Arcan's coming in to try and finish them off. But yeah, these are Ushabti. They're definitely going to take a lot of damage from these Dragon Ogres. Unfortunately, though, the Tomb Guard are back. They're free from these Forsaken, and these Dragon Ogres are coming in. These are fleeing. So we'll see a great maneuver in a second. So here we can see he's moving in to try and intercept Arcan. Because here, there's 4 Dragon Ogres and there's 7. So what he can do here, Arcan is clearly trying to chase these guys off and shatter them. So he's throwing 4 in to get 7 out, right? So if he can stop Arcan, these guys can get some distance and regroup and come back. So it's a pretty good trade, and you can see the amount of damage they're doing to Arcan. You know, even just as a saving maneuver for these guys, they are doing a lot of damage to Arcan. So that is brilliant. That's a really good maneuver, I think. You know, it's freed up these 7 troops who have now returned. So these guys, they should have no problem dealing with Arcan now. So in the front line, still, just these guys are holding. The Chaos Warriors aren't getting terrified away, which is absolutely massive. So it's pretty great to see. Amazingly, though, this Wolf Sphinx is still going, despite the fact it was so injured when it came into this fight. But just with all this other stuff for the Chaos troops to worry about, it's wrapping up a lot of their time, you know, fighting Tomb Guard with Halberds that do have pretty good armor piercing. You know, they're anti-large, but they will still do okay against the Chaos Warriors. They will get some good damage in there, especially with the backup of the giant kiddies. So Ushabti now, only 1 unit, just the Chosen of the Gods left. But they are stable, you know, they're not crumbling. So they will do well here. More Tomb Guard are coming into the fray, which is very dangerous. And over here, oh, we missed it, I'm afraid, but Arcan died. So these guys were able to deal with Arcan. There just wasn't enough, you know, support for Arcan here. And they just get bogged down so much by Dragon Ogres. That's what Dragon Ogres are great at. Here, though, unfortunately, just from the amount of damage the Chaos Warriors are taken, they are now starting to break, which is definitely sad. But they did manage to take down 1 kitty, so that's pretty good. So these Tomb Guard are coming in, but they're a critical binding. These guys, the Dragon Ogres here, they are getting shot at by the Chosen of the Gods, and they do enough damage that this is still going to hurt a lot. They will be able to do a lot of damage to these Dragon Ogres. So it's pretty tough. It's definitely pretty tough. So he's bobbing and weaving, just trying to avoid some arrow fire and keep them from shooting at, you know, all these other units. So, oof, and there goes 1. So these guys have almost got no health left. I mean, look at that. 500 spread over 4 units. Any hit is going to kill a model now. So, amazing though, Archaon is still fighting. He is still in this. And you can see all these halberds, they are crumbling. So really, it's just the big kitty that he's got to worry about, which is pretty impressive. So here, once again, they regroup. They're still getting shot at. Stand or Die managed to hit them, but they are back. But for how long? I don't know. So there we go, they've shattered. So, and amazingly, none of these Chaos Warriors are coming back yet, but they are so disheveled. 7 left, 11, 13 left, 9, 4, is that? 5. Just no men left here. They fought until they were almost completely wiped out, thanks to being immune to psychology. So over here, Archaon is fighting. So the Cambrian War Sphinx starting to crumble. As are the Tomb Guard, they're still crumbling. Still crumbling. They haven't crumbled yet. And the Ushabti have come in here, the Chosen of the Gods, and they will actually do some very good work. But unfortunately, army losses hits and everything disintegrates without Archaon managing to keep him going. It was too much. So basically, that was a win for Archaon. The rest of his troops, well, they're scattered to the wind. If he recovers his army, he'll have a solid front line of about 30 Chaos Warriors, and that's it. So pretty impressive that he managed to, he managed to last. So just being immune to psychology there, it helped so much. And yeah, you wouldn't have got as much value out of these without it. It was very impressive to see. I mean, some of them very few kills, this one fighting the War Sphinx, but these other ones, they managed to kill a load of stuff in the front line, and they kept fighting for so long. Those kiddies, those kiddies had no chance at staying in that kind of sustained combat. Without their terror and fear, proccing there, they just couldn't break the Chaos front line, I mean, they did eventually kill enough of them, but they had to kill a lot of them. So really impressive. So I love to see, a use of Crown of Domination, in a matchup like this. Against Tomb Kings is the perfect time to bring out that crown. It is just great. You'd never see these guys fighting for as long as they did otherwise. And I think that's marvellous. So obviously you can see, the Skeleton Warriors basically did nothing. They're not really there for killing anything. They're there just to get in the way for a bit, and basically to give those heals. Make sure those heals are proccing that free Ushabti summon, because that's always a static amount. So you always want to make sure you've got enough fodder to make sure that happens. But the Tomb Guard did really well to, get in the way of the Dragon Ogres a lot of the time, kept these Ushabti going for a long time, and they managed to do some real damage to, very vital units such as the Dragon Ogres, who were pretty vital for taking out Archaon there. If it was just Archaon versus Archaon at the end, I don't know which way it would have gone. With the cycle charging from Archaon, and support from the Ushabti and things, I think Archaon could have done very well. And spamming Spirit Leech and things like that, it was great to get him caught out by the Dragon Ogres, especially when I'm pretty sure great name, he was chasing down one of the Dragon Ogres, and the other unit managed to intercept, and that was huge. That really helped. So it's pretty amazing. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.